Court is in session, and tonight's defendant chose the venue himself. On Friday night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, in front of the entire Washington press corps and every camera in the room, the president made a claim about crime in that very city. Now, jury, of all the subjects to improvise on, he picked the one where the police department publishes its own running scoreboard on a public webpage, updated continuously, free to anyone with a browser. He made a checkable claim in the most checkable room in America, so let us check it. The claim, exactly as delivered. The president described Washington, D.C. as almost a crime-free city and said crime there had fallen by 88%. Two assertions in one breath, jury, and they are different kinds of claim. Crime-free is a description of a condition. 88% is a number. Both are testable against the same source, and the source is his own government's police department. Exhibit A, from the Metropolitan Police Department's own dashboard, as of that same day. Violent crime in 2026. 1,512 offenses. At the same point last year, 1,478. Look at the chart, jury. That is not a decline. Violent crime in the district is running about 2% above where it was a year ago. Up. In the city he described that same evening as almost crime-free. Now, before anyone accuses this court of stacking the exhibits, here is the part of the record that is genuinely good, and I want it stated plainly rather than buried. Total crime in the district is down. 11,334 offenses this year against 14,137 last year, a drop of about 20%. That is real, that is substantial, and it matters to every person who lives there. And homicides, the most serious number in the entire set, are down 37%, from 92 to 57. 35 fewer people killed, jury. That is a genuinely excellent number. Which brings us to the strangest part of this case. He had a true number available, and it was a good one. Crime down 20%, homicides down 37%. Any politician in America would take that to a podium. Instead, he said 88%. Do the division with me, jury. 88 against an actual 20 is an overstatement by more than a factor of 4. He did not shade a number. He did not round up. He inflated a genuine achievement past the point where it could survive contact with his own police department's homepage. And the category matters as much as the magnitude. Federal intervention in this city's policing was not sold on shoplifting statistics. It was sold on violence, on the argument that Washington was dangerous and needed rescuing. Violent crime is the specific number that argument rests on. Violent crime is the one number in the set that went up. Whatever else the intervention accomplished, jury, the metric it was justified by is running above last year, on the government's own count, on the day he called the city almost crime-free. Cross-examination in fairness. And there is a real caveat on the record. The Metropolitan Police Department notes that its published figures are preliminary and subject to reclassification as cases are reviewed. That is the ordinary disclaimer on any live crime dashboard, and it is honest of them to print it. Note, though, jury, which way it cuts. Reclassification moves numbers by percentage points, in either direction. It does not turn a 20% decline into an 88% one, and it does not turn a 2% increase in violent crime into a city without crime. So who benefits from the inflation? The case that the takeover already worked. Almost crime-free is not a boast, jury. It is a verdict delivered in advance. The problem is solved. The intervention succeeded. Stop asking. And the people who pay are the residents of a city being publicly described as finished, while the violence number sits above last year, and every citizen trying to have an honest argument about public safety using a figure inflated more than fourfold. You cannot debate a policy honestly when the scoreboard has been repainted. The verdict? False. And needlessly so. He could have said crime is down 20% and homicides down 37%, and every word would have been true and impressive. He said 88% and crime-free instead, and the one number that rose is the one the federal takeover was sold on. So the standing instruction from this bench, jury, when a politician describes a city, go read that city's own dashboard. It updates faster than the speech does. Court is adjourned. I'm Madeline, and this is Pixel Politics.